Villagers. This is Cory. Welcome to the Village Podcast. Melody is not here for the second week in a row. She's doing other things as we speak. Um, I just want to give thanks and want to reach out to the audience on subscribing me on the podcast. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you didn't follow up on our latest episodes, please hit the subscribe button and notifications as well. Um, the topic for today will be about the traveling life in China. Um, what's it like traveling in China? It's great. Like you can, travel to different cities near the place that you are living from. They have different types of things to do, like seeing buildings, seeing like the old town, seeing like being in the mountains, hiking. Also, you can go to the beach as well. You can have food because in different provinces they have their own specialty type of food. Some of them might be spicy, some of them might be sweet and juicy. Um, some areas might have home grass fed type of beef. Some might be known for their seafood. Also, there are other places that has like Buddha statues, like the city in Wuxi. There's a big, huge Buddha temple that a lot of people go to. Um, Also, there's like the beach area called Sanya, where like they have wonderful resorts. A lot of beach area, like people can swim, people can like be in the ocean. Um, Also, there's islands in China as well. Um, that experience was great to me because it was a amusement park on the island, and they had like plenty of rides. A lot of games there, so I was very intrigued on like what they have there. Um, where else did I travel? Oh, travel to Guangzhou. They have a huge tower, which is amazing. Like the weather is very beautiful, but majority of the time it kind of rain, and it's crazy where it's even like the city is even closer to Shenzhen, where it has like a young crowd, nice popular party area. Where else did I travel? What's it like travel in China? Um, for me, I traveled to Beijing. The Great Wall is very, very huge. I mean, very huge. Like the walking distance is very, very far. I believe there's like a lot of parts of the Great Wall where you can go to this area, but other areas that you can't go because they need to preserve it and they need to refurbish it because the wall is so old. And then they have a drum and bell tower. The the drum and bell tower is very huge. Like you have to go through a lot of steps in order to like reach to the top, and you see a beautiful view around that area as well. Where else? Travel through Hangzhou. Hangzhou is a nice area where you can see the lakes, especially around Dragon Boat Festival, um, where there's a lot of people taking pictures, and you have like the flowers and some of the trees near the lake, and it's very wonderful to explore and to go. Um, traveling traveling in China is very, very relaxing. You have to be patient, because the time frame, like sometimes it might take, hours. to get there. But you can, travel through, the airport. You could travel by the speed train, which is very convenient for a lot of people because, driving in the highway, it's a lot of traffic, um, especially in China where there's 1 billion people living in this country, you know. Um, my experience traveling in China has been, ooh, it's been crazy because it's a lot of memories where I've stayed in hostels. And a hostel to me is like where you go into a place and you sleep with in a bunk bed with different people in the same room. You use the same community um, bathroom to take a shower or use the bathroom. But it's cheap. It's very cheap and it's very affordable if you want to travel alone. There's other times that stayed at a Airbnb, which is very convenient, where you ask the landlord from the website to stay for a few days. Like some of the apartments were okay, but majority of the apartments were very nice and clean and convenient for you to cook, convenient for you to put things in the refrigerator. Um, it's awesome. I think I already told you guys about the fast train. The fast train just blew my mind because in my hometown we don't even have trains. Subways. Like it's mind blowing. There were times like you know if I want to use a bathroom, like the bathrooms are very far from where you trying to go. um, Also, like they're when going to the bathroom, like they don't have like toilet seats. Sometimes they have squatters. So like a squatter is like basically you there's no toilet. There's like a you have to sit on the not sit on the floor, but squat towards the floor, and there's like a little you know toilet on the floor, and it's convenient like because you don't have to like sit in a different position where your back can be hurt. Like you just easily squat and just pee. So that was like experience traveling in China through the subway stations. Also, hmm, let me think. Oh, sometimes traveling in China can be very drainful because you have to be patient. There's like a lot of people going to different places, and like it could be overcrowded when you're trying to line up to buy a ticket from the subway or from the airlines, where you have to be there for 2 to 3 hours just to have baggage claim. So you just have to be patient based on my experience. Um, Also, just grabbing a taxi to the airport can take a little while. So it's better to like book it early in the morning. That would be better. Or if you have an early flight, just book it the day before because it's very convenient, especially around 5 or 6 in the morning where there's not even any traffic because everybody's sleeping or you know jogging. I'll be seeing people jogging, but that's the traveling experience that I have in China. But what you need to prepare is, if you want to stay for a few days, just pack a light bag. You don't want to carry anything heavy, because you will be walking a lot. You'll probably walk like 10 to 15,000 steps a day. I mean, yeah, steps a day if you're traveling, from one city to another. Um, what else to prepare for? Yeah, prepare for like deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste. the main necessities about it. That's the main thing. Hopefully, also prepare like a small snack. Because like sometimes the convenient food might be good, but sometimes it might be not good for your body because there's like convenience stores, but it could be expensive because you know the railway stations or the airport stations might um, they need money basically, so they're gonna like spike up the prices a little bit. Also, what you need to prepare for if you want to travel during the holidays. Um, my experience with that is whenever is national holiday, just book a plane ticket for and 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the holiday because it could be expensive because the government knows and the airlines and the railway station knows that people are traveling um, to see their families. Also, they're traveling just to have some, leisure time and becoming a tourist. So it could be very expensive, especially during Chinese New Year, where usually people get 2 weeks off um, or even 3 weeks off. But like it's expensive as well. So like you need to book in advance on where you want to go or need to go as well. The things that you need to book on is in China they have C Trip or Chunar, where you can have like affordable prices on there. Or you can even use Alipay, which is crazy because you can use Alipay to book a you know train ticket or even an airplane ticket. But you need someone who is Chinese to help you because reading the characters is kind of difficult for some people. It was difficult for me, still is because like I can read a little bit of Chinese, but however, like I wanted things to be quick, done, and efficient. What else to prepare for? Um, just be prepared for flight delays. With flight delays, it might take 2 hours or 4 hours. It depends on the weather because during the winter time in Shanghai, like it could be very, very cold. So like they might even cancel like your flight for a day. So what they do is like based on my experience, because I had canceled flights here in China, where the airlines will help you out to book a ticket. Well, not book a ticket. Yeah, they will book a ticket for you for the next day, and also they will give you, one night free at a local hotel to rest your body, and they give you um, free food, which is a good thing. So like they just want to have the best service that they can give you, um, based on if you had a canceled flight. I also had like a canceled flight when I was living in Tianjin as well. So like instead of me going back home, like the airlines, um, gave me a free food and a one night stay at a nice hotel, like a beautiful hotel. What else? What else to prepare for? A lot of people, I think I already covered that, where sometimes there are people who can be impolite, be in a line, so they try to like cut in front of you and bum rush you. So like you just have to, stay on your ground, be like, hey, no, move back, because there are people who can be very rude and disrespectful um, when they're trying to buy a airport ticket or even a subway ticket because they really want to rush things and trying to reach to their families. That's just have to be prepared for cultural appropriateness. Also have to prepare, just have a strong mindset that things are going to be all right by traveling from point A to point B. Um, what else to prepare for? Prepare for different prices, in different cities. Because, for instance, like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, Shenzhen could be a little bit expensive because that's like the main cities in China, the big, big cities. But where everywhere else, like wherever other city, could be very affordable. It could be, cheap. You can also save money while you traveling. By eating, the good local food. Um, that's what I usually do. Eat like local food because it's, authentic. Um, what else? Yeah, like even souvenirs can be a little expensive because they need like money, when tourists from different parts of the city come to that area. Like they have tour guides. Like that was my experience. I never had a tour guide, but like just seeing them, with their microphones, being very, very loud. It drives me crazy because like they have their own system on how to line up people and walking from one place to another and explaining things about the different types of buildings and rivers, lakes, bridges. It's very awesome. What else about preparing when traveling in China? Um, prepare for tourist traps. I don't know if they still have it or not. Where with tourist traps, if you're in a main city like Beijing, with like what happened with me was when I first traveled to Beijing, there were like a couple of Chinese girls, like young college girls, and it was like, oh, do you want to grab some coffee or tea? And I'm like, okay, but the thing is, I had a roommate, who was my coworker. He was like, no, no, thank you, and then I asked him like, why? And he told me like, oh no, they just want to use you for your money. So what happened is like if they take you to a coffee shop, like they will spend like 3,000 RMB, knowing that you don't have the money. So 3,000 RMB is basically close to $500, and then if you don't pay, like they would call the cops, and then you would be, in trouble, and you have to like, you know, probably spend like a day in jail. I have no idea how that works, but like a lot of people experience that before. Thank God I haven't. You just have to prepare for people like that as well. Also, my experience, what you need to prepare for is like people taking pictures, of you randomly, because the reason why is they don't know how to speak English. So they just come up to you like, oh, photo, photo. And, it's okay. Like they never seen like people with, a different skin color or a different ethnicity before. So like you just take a picture with them, just be nice and cordial with them because, you're in a different country. Like you just have to be respectful to people, even if they treat you, with disrespect. Like, put your foot down and say, hey, I don't tolerate with that, but still do it in a cordial and respectful way. You don't have to be violent with people who live in China, But yeah, you get random pictures. Like I had an experience where I was in a taxi and the taxi driver just, had his phone and tried to take a selfie. So like it was crazy, but I understand like on how people never experience or never seen people with different skin color or different hair. Oh, with that, like about different hair, I had an experience when I was on the subway where this it was an old man, And he just looked at me and he just touched the hair on my arm. And I'm like, okay. And this is when I was like first living in China. So I didn't like scream at the old man or anything because I was just in shock. Like, oh, okay. Like, crazy. Or like, there are times where um, different like types of ladies like compliment on my eyelashes because sometimes like they don't have any eyelashes or it's just too thin. So like they want to just touch my eyelashes or touch my hair because they never experience people who have curly hair. So like that, like throughout that time, that was my experience, like and what to prepare for when traveling in China. Because I didn't get this where the city I live, but I got this type of treatment traveling from the north and from the south and from the east and the west of China, which is mind blowing. But yeah, my advice is just be patient, um, be kind, um, just eat before you go to the airport or to the fast train, um, and just have a good time. Just have a good time while traveling in China because other people are not fortunate enough to travel around the world or they would never experience it, um, because they will always sometimes they would be stuck in their hometown. So just be grateful and be humble, that you are experiencing this type of expat life, while traveling to different countries or just traveling in China. I hope you like our episode. Make sure to leave comments and subscribe to us. Thank you.